Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Silent Bird Tavern. We are so happy to have you here and join us for yet another harrowing episode of adventures down in a stinky cave with our friends Arthur, Hannah, and Chaff. We hope you enjoy this dirty beat down. Last time on the Phantoms of Talva.
I'm gonna have to trust you with the gathering of knowledge from me. I must continue my work here. The poisons must be made. It seems this earthquake is not natural, and I assume it has something to do with the cave.
You see, that's the thing, Arthur. Both of your associates have been arrested. And you are locked away in here. I don't know if you have any more time.
I've been studying the arcane a little bit myself, but I haven't figured out any spells that can turn back time.
These are trained soldiers, and everything in those caves belongs to the Republic. Anything that they find will be confiscated and brought back to the military.
Of course I am. Gotta get them back for what they did.
And she slides a gold coin in his hand and closes his hand, and she says, "If I live, you owe me a drink."
When you turn around, you see 6 kobolds come rushing out. I need you all to roll me initiative.
Initiative, baby! $15!
17.
Oh, okay, fine. I don't really care.
It's a 15 for me.
Alright, first in the initiative order is the group that rushed in from the left-hand side of the wall. They make their move towards you, but they don't get quite close enough, and Arthur, it is your turn.
How close are they to each other?
The kobolds?
Yes. How close are they to me and each other?
They're maybe another 20 feet from you, and from each other they're more or less within 5 feet of each other.
Alright. I'm going to cast Magnify Gravity. They all need to succeed Constitution saving throw of 15 or take half damage. And more stuff, but just see if they succeed first.
That is probably not gonna save, because that is an 8.
8 is the highest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then none of them succeed.
What do they take?
2d8 force damage, and their speed is halved.
Alright, rolling your damage.
How many are there again?
3 in this group.
Okay.
There's 3 in the other group.
Okay, so the first person in this group takes 60 damage.
Wow.
Second person in this group takes 11 damage. I'm deleting the dice as I roll them, so I don't expect you to remember. And the last one takes 11 damage.
You watch as all 3 kobolds in this initial group just implode on themselves, and there's just a splatter of blood and guts across the room as they are crushed by the weight of this abnormal gravity.
And it's gonna turn to Arthur and say, I don't know if I'm impressed or horrified.
Be a bit of both.
The second group of kobolds from the right-hand side see this, and they immediately flee.
Can I call out to them?
You could call out to them if you want. Combat is over.
You kobolds! If you understand what I'm saying, you'll stop right now and come back here. You will not be harmed, merely imprisoned. If you continue to run, your death will be at hand.
They are not listening to you.
Fireball! No.
You don't even have 5th level spells yet. What are you talking about?
I know, that's just my threat for everything. I don't know how wizardly I am. I could say fireball. Just firebolt. And he's like, I thought you said fireball. Oh, it's the accent.
Well, that was pretty impressive.
As Armin walks up to the puddle of just biomass that is smeared on the ground and starts to, kick at one of the chunks.
Is there anything that survived the crushing?
I mean...
Besides anything of note?
No, not really.
Was the armor made for them, or is it, slightly too big for them?
It looks like it was pieced together from junk.
Oh.
Like secondhand armor that belonged to somebody else.
Now I'm just imagining I crushed a kobold that was using a bucket for a helmet.
Chef, how do you feel watching Arthur destroy essentially your clan members?
Don't get on his bad side.
I thought they were stronger. That was my last spell.
We haven't even gotten to the big fight, bro.
Oh, because you still have alarm going upstairs, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You definitely sense all the soldiers that are coming in and out from upstairs.
So just in my ears. Ah, my God.
You have only 1 spell left, sir.
Alright. Well, what else is in this giant dome?
It seems to be an endless drop down. You can't see far enough to see the bottom.
I'll hold out one of my toxins. Look to Hannah. Should I?
I don't think there's anything really here worth poisoning. Besides these kobolds, I haven't really seen anyone. But at the very least, maybe we're going in the right direction? She kind of shrugs. What do we do now?
Well,
Armin looks at Arthur.
can't you fly?
You want me to go find what's at the bottom of the hole, don't you?
Well, if we're going down, this might be the fastest way. And if there's a bottom at a reasonable distance, maybe this will be the fastest way to get there. Just me thinking.
Alright.
We could also go and explore back ways. That way, where we didn't go.
Does any of this look familiar to you, Chaff?
You keep asking me that. I shake my head no.
I guess they did some interior design while you were gone.
There was a pretty sizable earthquake the other day. It's probably what it was. Must have spotted one of the lookouts and started getting ready for us, I guess. At least, that's what I would do if I had that kind of magic.
That's true. Well, why don't we just throw a torch down the hole, see how far it goes?
That is an idea.
And he lights one up. He lights one up and throws it down.
Or hold on to the toxin.
I don't think that's a good idea, Arthur, not if we're trying to go down there.
Is it flammable toxin, though?
And how long does the toxic, lie around before it dissipates?
12 years.
That's nice.
It has the same lifetime as Fallout.
For real, I was like, is this radiation, man? Like, how did you make it in your office?
The torch is descending and goes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet, and then clunk, clunk, hits the bottom, and you guys can clearly see as it went down that the hole stays more or less the same size all the way down, and there is a reasonably flat surface where the torch landed.
That ain't that far at all.
I mean, we could go down. I'm okay if we just went back and walked down the corridor. But if you guys think this will be faster, maybe Arthur could lie us down.
Nah, you guys were too heavy.
What? Even me?
Anybody got any rope?
I do. I have 50 feet of hemp rope.
That'll get us pretty close.
She looks a little uneasy, and she's like, I'm really okay if we just walk down the corridor. It just feels like a lot of work.
When she says that, I'm gonna allow myself to just fall down the hole.
Hannah's like, no!
Well, can't let him go by himself.
I am still falling!
She, like, begrudgingly pulls out her rope and, like, secures it, and she's just, like, the whole time, like...
Arthur, what are you doing when you reach the bottom? I'm assuming you try not to hit the floor like a...
I want to catch myself before they reach closer than 15 feet and just hover right around that height. What do I see?
You see that there's another passageway. You can't make out a clear end to it because it turns. Maybe 20 feet down the way.
Once I secured the rope, I tie it around my waist and I start climbing down.
I'm gonna go until I'm about like 25 feet up and just mage hand start knocking all over the floor. Floor that's directly below me.
Okay. Nothing is happening.
Alright, I'll just stay flying around 15 feet until Hannah makes her way down.
Once she gets to the end of the rope, she'll, like, untie herself and then do, like, a parkour jump at the end.
Okay, go ahead and make me an acrobatics check. 60, yeah, it's only a 10-foot drop from there.
16.
You gracefully make a 3-point landing. Chaff, are you headed down on the rope?
Oh, absolutely.
Armin waits till Chaff makes his way down about halfway before he himself starts to climb down the rope. Chaff, are you trying to do any kind of special drop, or you're just gonna drop straight down?
Nothing fancy.
Armin also drops down.
Well, you guys ready?
I walk up to him and stand next to him. Ready?
He doesn't even wait for the others to respond. He just starts walking down the hallway.
We are following... Wait. I asked Arthur to untie the top of the rope so I can get it back.
Yeah, I'll go untie the rope.
Thank you. And then we'll follow him.
And I'm gonna not stop flying the whole time.
I also picked up the torch.
There is, in this hallway, a smell that at first gives you the impression that someone is cooking,
Oh no.
and then slowly becomes more recognizable as the scent of rotting flesh. Before you can even lift your hand to cover your mouth from the stench, you find yourselves in a wide open space, greeted by the first thing that you recognize since you've come down here, Chaff. And that is the sight of the large kobold sleeping quarters everywhere you look. There are just bodies of kobolds piled on each other, burned and charred. And it looks incredibly intentional.
Hannah vomits.
I run over to the closest body, a bit stressed, but trying to stay calm.
It is very hard for you to recognize any of them specifically in this state, but from what you can see, all of these were the worker class of kobolds, similar to the ones that were shot on the spot at the entrance of this cave.
Hannah's like recovering, wiping her face with her sleeve, and she's now holding her nose and she's like, I'm kind of sick, bastards. And then she walks up to Chaff, pats him on his back, and it's like, are you okay, buddy? We're gonna get these guys who did this.
Armin seems unfazed by the stench, and he's scanning the room. What the?
When he says what the, Hannah's head snaps towards him, and then looks at him, and then looks at what he's looking at.
Right as you turn, you see what appears to be the back of someone's leg as it disappears into a shadow.
Am I seeing things? Did you guys see like a shadow or something move?
That was Fisher. I know that was her.
Fisher.
He begins to climb up a pile towards where he was looking. And he starts looking in every single direction when he doesn't quite see what he was looking for.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
What?
It's her. It's Private Fisher. Like before. In the manor.
Hannah's face gets pale and she looks towards Arthur and she's like, are these the same people who injured you guys?
Well, not exactly. She came in and somehow was moving through the shadows.
Moving through the shadows? Is that some kind of magic? And she's again asking Arthur.
By the looks of it, if I had to guess, some sort of teleportation. One room to the other, simply by using the shadows. If not, maybe it's some type of illusionary magic, allowing the person to seem as if they're one with the shadows.
I feel like the second one is more realistic.
Whichever they're using, we must light up the room.
Wouldn't that cast more shadows?
Not if it's a bright enough light. And if they're hiding within the shadows, a single flash is all we need to get them out.
I don't know fireball, but I do know prestigiation. I think I can cast a light in one side of the room, and maybe you can cast light in the other side of the room.
Prestidigitation! Flashbang! Whoa!
You guys see Armin is getting visibly impatient with you.
I get up, dust myself off, start investigating the shadows. In particular, I tossed some sort of object at the one that they were looking at.
The shadow that this person disappeared to, Armin literally went towards it. He went up onto one of these piles of bodies and was literally throwing corpses around, trying to find where this person disappeared to. And if you're going to investigate the shadows in the room, this is, as Chaff would know, a very large antechamber, if you will. This is a very large pocket inside of this cave system. I'm gonna have you roll an investigation check.
Does dark vision help much?
It allows you to do this normally without disadvantage.
Okay. Investigation. Alright, that was a 14 plus 1, 15.
On a 15, you go around the room, kind of poking at the shadows, looking around. You wander off from the rest of the group, and for the most part, you don't really see anything out of the ordinary. Nothing catches your attention, nothing gives you the sense that something is watching you from the dark. But as you get to the other end of the room, you just barely notice the tail end of some sort of cloth, a cape maybe? The end of a cloak? As it trails behind something which disappears down the only other entryway you've found since you've been looking around this space.
I take a step back, but I continue staring, like trying to decide whether to approach or not.
Hannah and Arthur, you're still having the conversation about where you want to shine your flashlights.
So were we talking to actually do it, or we were just theorizing?
Theorizing.
Hannah looks at Arthur and she's like, so, do we want to shine the lights, or do we just want to keep going?
If we continue on this path, I believe then any discoveries we make will be accompanied by unwelcomed eyes, or an unwelcome blade in the back as we're going on to the next room.
This is a huge space. This is no small room. This is huge. There are dozens of piles of hundreds of dead kobolds in this room.
It might be better to do that in a smaller room. This room's too big. Let's just walk until we find a thin corridor, and then we can try that.
Just be cautious of any dark corners you see.
Alright, it's at this point that I wave my arms, trying to get their attention while pointing at the corridor.
They are still on the other side of this cavern, so they would have to even notice that you're missing, first of all.
Inferior non-dark vision races.
I don't have dark vision. I can't see a thing. Oh, wait, yes, I do.
I have dark vision.
And one of you does have a torch on, just to remind you.
It's Armin who can't see. Point and laugh at the human.
Wait, where's the little guy?
Hannah looks around. She's like, well, that sucks.
Crap.
Anyway, continuing on. Well, that sucks.
You think he defected?
No.
I run over there and grab the closest person to pull them over.
Harmon turns and immediately aims a gun at you, hearing you coming, and then he slowly lowers it.
Oh, spoke too soon, I guess. You found a way out?
I point at the other side of the room and beckon him to follow.
You guys coming?
Of course.
All right. Lead the way, little guy.
Walking over to the other side, I point at the dark corridor and gesture like a person with my fingers.
You saw someone go down this way?
I nod my head.
Armin looks back at the rest of you.
What is it that you saw? Humanoid? Monster-like?
I shrug my shoulders and shake my head.
Oh, whatever is in there is unknown to us. Well, Armin, go on in. We'll follow behind.
Feels like this whole cave is unknown to us, wizard.
Well, obviously that is, but the cave won't be changing shape anytime soon.
Right.
Wonder why they killed all these creatures. Seems a little excessive.
Probably get rid of the witnesses.
Exactly. Information is a powerful resource.
Probably be wanting him back.
But what did they need this many creatures for, and why was it so easy to get rid of them? It's just unusual to me. As she's like walking towards the direction of the thing that Chaff was pointing at.
It's for one simple reason. They're kobolds. Chaff, close your ears. They reproduce at a rate that would cause bunnies to faint, and they're great at mining out areas. They want secret caverns, they got kobolds.
Hannah kind of like looks at Chaff with like a side eye, and she's like, reproduced in a way that makes bunnies blush? And she shakes her head and she's like, weird.
I also account for 80% of the... No, I'm welcome to Chaff, my kobold.
I'm sorry. Armin is following Hannah down the corridor.
The heck, military man, I sent you first.
Well, she's the one with the light.
She went ahead.
Weak human can't see in the dark.
It does help that my character has dark vision.
As you guys walk down this corridor, you hear nothing but the sound of faint footsteps as it bounces off the walls and the dripping of water in the distance. There's nothing for a while.
While we're walking, I'm just gonna Merlin a music box. Oh, what a horribly melancholy hallway. Lighten it up a bit.
You want to give away our position, wizard?
Oh, please. This hallway releases nothing but our sounds of our footsteps. They know we're coming before they even get to see us.
You don't know that.
Can I do like an active perception as we're going through this corridor?
Sure.
And it's a 9 because I'm blind.
9 total.
Your leader is blind, I apologize.
This hallway goes on for a long way. And there's a light tremor that you all begin to feel as you go deeper into this passageway, as it begins to take a downwards pitch. And it's oddly reminiscent of the earthquakes.
Do you think it's safe for us to be down here with these tremors?
I shake my head.
Of course, it's never safe to be in an underground environment when the ground above is unstable. If we are to proceed, we shall proceed with extreme caution. We don't want to get split up into separate tunnels, now would we?
Is that a possibility? I thought we just had this one corridor.
Well, yes, but what if the roof starts to cave in and you're like, oh no, I must be valiant and save one of them. Then you shove one of us out of the way, and boom, we're split up into 2 teams.
You're very confident anybody here would push you out of the way.
I'm confident that I'd be able to move out of the way in time.
That's good.
Very few realities in which I get killed by a rock.
What about fire?
Quite a few of those.
You didn't seem to see that coming last time.
Well, he didn't die.
Trust me, there was many realities where my hide got scorched to an extent where I did experience the cease of breathing.
I experienced the cease of breathing. Okay. You guys walk for maybe 30 minutes, and then you come into what is another open room, almost. But unlike the previous room, this has various floors and crossways, and the first thing you notice as you look around is what appears to be what used to be entrances have all kind of collapsed in on themselves. And standing down below you in almost like this grotto where there's water passing through is a cloaked figure.
You say grotto?
Yes.
What's a grotto?
Grotto.
Grotto? I know grotto.
Or grotto. Grotto Baggins. Standing down in this grotto is this cloaked figure who's presently kneeled over, taking water to their face.
Hannah kind of lifts the torch up a little higher to kind of get a better view, and she says, "Who goes there?"
Startled, the figure stands up and then turns back to face you, and you can't really see their face all that clearly. And they begin to back away slowly.
"Wait, don't leave. We won't hurt you."
Walking up with my wings fully extended as much as they can be in this tight space. Yes, you will not be harmed if you cease all movement immediately.
They pause on the last step backwards, and they proceed to slowly reach into what appears to be a satchel that's slung over their shoulder.
And then Hannah's going to say, "Stop moving or we're going to attack."
I also want to say, as a blatant bluff, yes, and if you have anything in there that allows you to teleport, I will be able to trace it directly to your location. It leaves a magical trail behind itself. I'll be able to find you easily.
Armin kind of looks slightly over his shoulder at you, Arthur. You could do that. And the figure pulls out a crystal, which, Chaff, you recognize the materials that the kobolds would mine down here. And it crushes it in its hand, and the cave around you starts to shake as the figure also violently begins to shake, convulsing. It falls to the ground, and you just see the earth seep up around it, and it begins to swallow this figure whole. And at first it's just this mass of earth and clay that begins to slowly harden and take shape into a much larger humanoid form. I need you all to roll me a dexterity saving throw and initiative.
When I see this thing look like that, I'm just gonna I have to say, I liked how you looked before.
Why? How do I get the same number twice? I got 9.
The dexterity was 17 total. My initiative is 15.
Dexterity saving throw was 15. And initiative 13.
As this creature begins to come to a still point, you hear parts of the cave breaking and falling, and as you all look up, you see this mass of earth falling on top of you, and Armin, Arthur, and Chaff, you all instinctively roll out of the way, but Hannah is caught in place as this earth just slams into her, and you immediately feel stuck as the earth around you begins to solidify, leaving nothing but your face.
So, can I make her do it again after hearing that, or is it too late?
Yeah, you can make her do it again.
Alright.
So, your whole thing has been, I could see into other realities, right?
Yeah.
That's what you've been saying every time. So I think flavor-wise, it makes sense to have already seen it happen, and so that way, canonically, it's almost like you saw what happened when she failed, and therefore you reverse time. Does that make sense?
Yes. Oh.
And then I'm gonna fail again.
If we fail again, that's all you're getting. I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, baby, 19. 24.
So, time shifts back, and then just in the nick of time before this slams down on Henna, she jumps from the ledge, and you are all safe for this round.
Yeah, and I'll just call it the Hannah. She's like, really? You let yourself get caught by a lump of clay?
Do I remember this alternative reality?
No.
No, you have no idea what he's talking about.
It's like, what are you talking about? I got over here safely. I don't get it.
It is now top of the round. Armin is first. He, without skipping a beat, rolls into a stand, turns up with both revolvers in hand, and fires off 2 rounds to this mass of clay. And he misses his first shot, but he makes the second one. 11 damage. And it has to make a con save, which it succeeds on. So Armin misses his first shot. The second shot blasts through one of its arms, but it seems to get swallowed in right at the end. And it is now Arthur's turn.
Roll Constitution saving throw.
It's a 16.
Alright, did nothing. I'm gonna move my entire movement speed back behind everybody as much as I can. That's it.
Chaff, it is now your turn.
I scream.
You're using your Draconic Cry?
Yeah.
So that means now everybody has advantage, correct?
Yes. Advantage on the next roll. And also, Eldritch Blast.
Alright, roll the damage.
Come on. Natural 20.
Nice. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Alright. Full 10.
Nice. That's 20. You let out this shriek that just rings through the air, and the creature reels back. And you let out one of your blasts that just plows right through its kneecaps, and you just see a gaping hole open up, and it stumbles and loses its balance and then just drops down to its knee. And then slowly you see that leg rebuild itself using the earth beneath it. And it is now Hannah's turn.
How far away is this creature from us?
You are closest to it because you jumped off. So you are about 40 feet from it.
Alright. I'm actually going to cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay. And that's a save, correct?
Yes, it is a Wisdom saving throw. And it's against my spell save DC, which is 13.
Okay. It has advantage on this. That is a 6, which does not save. What do you say to this creature as you mock it?
It's a full 4 damage. He says, "You think a little rock's gonna save you? I don't think so."
It's hurt more from confusion than its feelings. And it turns to you, Hannah, and it begins to crawl closer, closes the gap by 20 feet. And it is now top of the order. The cave begins to shake again. I need you all to make me another dexterity saving throw.
21, baby!
14.
14?
Yeah.
Arthur?
15.
You watch as parts of the cave begin to fall again, and Arthur, you easily dodge out of the way of this again. This doesn't faze you. Hannah, you sidestep a clump of dirt that just plops next to you. But Chaff and Armin both get slammed with this earth that begins to harden around them, leaving nothing but their heads exposed.
Bruh. How could you? Armin's definitely not worth it, but Chaff, leaving him there might be bad. Man, why you do this to me, Chaff?
I rolled a 14.
I don't want to use it this early. I'm leaving them both in the dirt. I let Hannah escape because she's tanky.
It is Armin's turn, and he is going to roll a strength saving throw. And that is a 15. He does not break free from the clay. Arthur, it is now your turn.
I'm gonna go try to dig Chaff out of the dirt.
I need you to make me a strength check.
Alright, don't tear off my arm.
No promises. Oh, not only did I get you out of that rock, I got you out of that rock with a bowl handmade from that very dirt. That was a net 20.
Not 20. Nice.
I made you a vase on the way out.
You come down on top of Chaff and you just start like pecking away in just the right spots and you crack the earth around him. And he is now free. And it is Chaff's turn.
What do you think? Is this the big bad?
No, this is just a clay minion number 5. They didn't even say their name or nothing. And if it is the big bad, then they can break a few fingers for the trouble they caused.
Alright, one more time. Cast Eldritch Blast. And 14.
14 just hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
4.
So you send off another blast and it hits him, but it doesn't even pierce all the way through. You just kind of see the clay go and then reform back into place, and it turns towards you, Chaff. And it's now Hannah's turn.
Hannah's gonna close the distance and attack with her short sword. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits.
4 damage. And then the bonus action will be an unarmed strike. Can I do another short sword attack, or does it have to be unarmed?
It would have to be unarmed.
Alright, so we'll do the unarmed. 19.
19 hits.
And then 2 extra damage.
So you slice into this creature and the sword passes through fairly easily, slinging mud and clay across the room. And then you immediately go to punch it right in the knee and it kind of crumbles a bit. This thing is standing maybe a foot or 2 over you as you do so. And it is now its turn, and it stands to its full height over you and just swings into you with both fists.
Oh boy.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
And I'm assuming an 8 does not hit.
8 does not hit.
So it swings with its first fist. You see it coming. You easily move out of the way, but just as you dodged that one, he uppercuts with the other fist and just catches you right in the gut for a whopping 8 damage.
8 damage?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Hannah's probably on the ground holding the area that was hit.
Don't worry, ribs grow back.
It lets out another shriek. And the cave shakes, and I need all of you to make me another dexterity saving throw.
Bruh. Armin's gonna get further buried.
Ooh, 25.
13?
13 fails.
Yeah, I figured.
I just unburied you!
Hannah, you got a 25?
Yeah.
Okay, and what did you get, Arthur?
And nat 20 again for 21.
You guys watch as Chaff gets captured in yet another ball of clay. Armin is struggling to get out. Make another strength saving throw. Yeah.
Seriously, don't try to save me, just try to solve the problem.
You do damage!
You don't?
No, I'm mostly utility.
Ah.
And he does not succeed with a 13. So Armin is still stuck. Arthur, it is your turn.
Free him.
Bruh. Not screw Armin. We use him as a human shield.
Don't worry about getting us out, wizard. Just do some of that same magic you did to them kobolds.
I cast Firebolt at it. It's a 21 to hit.
Okay, go ahead and roll me your damage.
6 damage. And then I want to move back.
You sling this bolt of fire at him, and it just bursts into the side of his head, and it slightly turns to face you, Arthur. Chaff, it's your turn. Make me a strength saving throw if you want to get out of this clay and do anything.
Is there much else I can do? I'm rolling. Alright, 11.
11, you cannot break free from this.
Figures.
Hannah, it is now your turn. You are facing this thing. You look and Fire Blast, the Eldritch Blast, all these magical effects seem to be leaving marks in this creature's body, but you can't seem to see where your sword cut through it or where your fist slammed into it.
Let's see, I've got 2 spells I could do. How much space is behind it?
There's a decent amount of space around it. Remember, it was standing in this grotto. It's approached you from where it was.
I'm gonna drink a health potion, and I'm gonna yell at it. You've clearly got the upper hand. Please stop attacking us. We were not gonna attack you to begin with. So I'm gonna do healing potion and persuasion.
To persuade it would be a full action. Are you using your bonus action to drink this potion then?
Sure.
Okay, then roll the dice for me.
Both are 4.
You gain back the 8 health you lost to this thing. Go ahead and try and roll me persuasion.
It was Batsuna. It was a 9.
It doesn't seem to comprehend what you're saying to it. And it is now its turn as it goes to slam 2 more fists into you. Does a 9 hit you?
Nope.
This thing swings at you while you're trying to talk to it, but it misses both times as you easily duck and dive between its massive fists. The creature and the room shakes once more. But this time, some of the entrances which had been sealed seem to open up again. And you see 1, 2, 3 kobolds with spears come rushing out to join the fray.
My brethren, help me.
Alright, and it is top of the order.
Let's see if he breaks free.
That is an 18. And he, seeing the kobolds rush out, immediately shakes off this dusty shell and pulls himself up. And with one free hand, he lets off an unaimed shot at one of the kobolds he sees coming out of the caves. That is a 7, which misses. It is now that kobold's turn. And so it rushes towards the edge of the archway that it's come out on, along with the other one that is behind it, and they're both screeching at walls. They kind of take account of what's happening. And that's 2 of their turns. And Arthur, it is now your turn.
I don't think you get him. Put him down. I'm gonna tell him. Hey, what are you doing? Coming to my cavern. You mess with my family.
Yeah!
Hannah, give him the sticky hand.
She winds up arm.
I'm gonna try to convince them. Kobolds! We're here to save the rest of your people! But this creature's killing them off! And look what it's done to your fellow kobold! I pointed chaff, stuck in the mud. Take it down while you still have a chance!
I'm not going to let you roll for this, because this will be an impossible persuasion.
Dang.
So I will say that was your free action. And they look at you and hiss, and you could swear they're snickering.
Oh, you little rats. I'm gonna use the last spell on you guys.
Not on the big guy, I'm going to use it on these guys.
How close are they to the clay monster?
Not close at all.
I'm going to thunder thy claps. Do a constitution saving throw. The area is 5 feet.
There's 2 of them that are together, one of them is separate from the others.
Screw those 2 kobolds.
That is a 15 and a 7.
7 fails. 15 is my thing, so barely succeeds. I point at it. I'm like, take 1d6 damage, you fool! That one kobold got the entire 6 dice of damage.
You yell out, "Take 1d6 damage, you fool!" Your wings kind of close in as if they're doing one big clap, and this sound goes. And one of them immediately already had his hands to his ears, and the other kobold is like. And you just see blood pouring out of its eyes as it just topples over and falls off the ledge.
Could have surrendered, you little rodents! Before it goes to them, I want to use all my movement to go back again.
It is now Chaff's turn.
Chaff.
Alright, so I guess I'll just try to roll out of the clay again.
Alright.
Come on.
What'd you roll?
8.
Where?
You are squirming in there, but you are not making any progress.
Yeah, I'm not that strong.
I want to help you out, but I don't want to use my time magic just for you to immediately be like, "Hey, aw," back in the mud.
It is now the third kobold's turn as it comes up right behind Hannah, and it is using its flanking to make an attack with advantage. Does a 21 hit?
Just barely.
Alright. 4 piercing damage as it and goes to jab at you with its spear, stabbing right into the back of your thigh.
Aye. 4. Hannah screams out in pain. Aye.
Aye, that hurt so much. It is now your turn.
She is going to swing back with her short sword
Mm-hmm.
and then do a kick.
Kick 'em in the huevos!
14 hit,
14 does hit.
7 damage.
Yeah, so then with your sword you would completely kill this kobold. So are you still using your bonus action to kick at the golem?
I rolled a 9.
So you slash at this kobold and immediately take its head off. And you swing around with a back kick, but the force is just not enough to even move this creature as your foot just firmly plants against its leg. And it laughs at you.
The Bowser laugh.
Don't sue us, Nintendo, don't sue us.
I got flashbacks dying to Bowser and hearing that.
It is now the creature's turn as it goes to take another few swings at Hannah. Does a 19 and a 15 hit.
Dead. Tell me the damage.
It is 10 total bludgeoning damage as both these fish just come straight down on your shoulders and
I'm down.
and this creature, after putting her into the ground, stands back up to its full height and stares over at the rest of you. You just see this creature melt into the ground where it was, and it disappears.
Brr.
I call BS.
Nope. And it reappears next to Arthur.
You shouldn't have
Oh,
spoke!
no.
What's wrong with you?
Oh no.
And it is now Armin's turn.
Mercy is beyond us. Run, my comrades.
I'm killing Armin if he doesn't break out and do something.
Armin already broke out.
When? Oh yeah, huh? He tried to shoot a kobold but missed horribly.
He sees this happening. He's frantically looking around. He sees this creature appear next to you, Arthur.
Wizard, look out!
And he's gonna fire off 2 rounds at this creature.
If he misses him, he should do the chaos dice.
You just want to see Arthur die.
If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me.
Heck no, firebolter.
And both hit. This is an insane amount of damage.
Yeah, don't worry, I softened him for you.
That's 19 damage that he just did to this creature, and you just see that reeling back as like these blasts drop both his arms off. And it kind of shrinks in size a bit and grows out 2 new arms right in front of you, Arthur. So it is now Arthur's turn.
I have Chromatic Orb.
So that is a ranged spell. So you will be firing at disadvantage because it's right there in front of you.
Yeesh. And I will make the Chromatic do cold damage. Does it? I have 3 chances to hit it. That's both with the disadvantage. It's a 20.
20 does hit. Oh, but it was a nat 20, both nat 20.
No, it would add it up to 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it hits. Go ahead and roll your dammies.
3d8 cold damage. And that is 7, 5, and 6.
7, 5, and 6.
Yes.
So, Arthur.
Yeah?
Describe to me how you destroy this creature.
I guess my Chromatic Orb is just... I put my hands together and pull them apart, and then just an orb appears in my hands, which is just the iconic green color when it doesn't have an element on it. And then I wind up like I'm throwing a ball at it, like a dodgeball. And that's when it gets its icy coloring. And I just chuck this thing like the PE teacher who joined the losing team and he's throwing it at a little kid. I just pointed the clay thing, just, you should have surrendered!
And it is not that far from you. It's literally right in your face as you're doing this, so it's not even a chuck, really. You shove this orb right into this thing's mouth as it just blasts cold wind through it, and its head freezes up and cracks, and the whole body just begins to turn to ice, and it cracks and shatters into pieces as you see the figure that it had been previously standing before you. In its hand clutched a silvery mirror, and it falls to its knees and topples over.
Finally.
I'm glad I have information. I'm gonna shank you.
And the kobold that was trying to make its way down, after seeing all of this, runs off into the distance.
Can I try to hit it while it's running?
You used your turn, so this is Chaff's if he wants to try and hit this guy.
So I'm free, actually.
Yes, you are free. The clay that was holding you has melted away.
I try to get closer, like running.
Mm-hmm.
Use my telepathy to communicate.
Okay. And what do you still do?
I tell them, your masters hide things from you. Seek out the book that is hidden away.
You get no response.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
So Armin is rushing over to Hannah. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm restraining the person and then checking if they're alive.
Restraining them? They plopped to the ground, dude.
I don't care, restrain them. Corpse can fight. That's good enough for me to restrain them.
I'm going to check out that silver mirror.
You're gonna go climb up to where Arthur was?
Yeah.
Chaff, the first thing you notice when you get up there and you watch this unusual display of Arthur trying to tie up a corpse is that you recognize the face of this individual as the hood kind of flips back. And it's the soldier who first showed you kindness.
Well,
And you turn, you pick up the mirror, and you look into it. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
21.
As you're staring into the mirror, your reflection smiles back at you, but you're not smiling, and you cock your head back, only to realize that the world around you has grown dark. Chaff, you are stuck in a world of darkness. And Arthur, you see Chaff staring at this mirror, and suddenly he drops it and it shatters. You could swear you hear him say something to the effect of, "Oops," as it drops.
Is there any way I can turn back the time before he dropped it?
You're not aware of what happened.
So I guess I'm gonna pick up the mirror and all the shards.
Chaff begins to signal to you like, no, don't worry about that. And he begins to sweep up the pieces and grabs the actual mirror itself and like does like a "it's mine" gesture.
I want to yank it from you, little gremlin. Give it back.
All right, Arthur, roll your athletics.
11.
All right, you beat him. You pull the mirror from his hands.
Yeah, I beat -1.
He just and kind of walks away from you.
While I look at it, just say, "Chaff, you can have it back if you tell me the color of this mirror."
He's just ignoring you. He's climbing down to go see Hannah and Armin.
I'll go back to taking anything of value from the corpse. Looking for insignias, looking for name tags, looking for anything. I take the cloak.
You take the cloak from him. He has a satchel, and the armor he's wearing is branded with the same brand as Chaff's priestly vestments.
I'll take the satchel, cloak, and I guess I'll sit there and draw signet on the parchment.
While these two are fighting over this, Hannah, you begin to come to as Armin was slowly dripping another potion into your mouth.
Oh. What's my health?
You regain full 8 health.
Okay, got it.
You alright, young lady?
She's like grabbing her side and like grunting, and she's like, "Oh, that's gonna hurt tomorrow."
It looked like it hurt today.
She like slowly gets up, does a prestigiation to clean up her outfit, and then she looks at Armin and she's like, "I'm still a lady. I have to look presentable."
Hey, you ain't getting no judgment from me. That was quite a walloping you took.
I'm just thankful to be alive. Thank you for the potion.
It was yours. Sorry.
Oh, thank you for administering my potion. I'm grateful for that.
He turns to look at Chaff, who's approaching the two of you.
You alright, little guy?
Chaff nods to him and then looks to Hannah and kind of does like a bit of a head tilt as he stares at you.
She looks a little confused and she's like, I'm alright. What now?
Well, suppose we should go see what's up with that fella if there's anything left of him.
Let's load his body. I will inspect him.
You're gonna head up there?
Yeah.
And Chaff follows the two of you, and while all of this is going on, Chaff, the real Chaff.
Yes?
You sit in this darkness for what is starting to feel like an insurmountable amount of time. In a moment where it begins to feel like, was there anything else? Was there ever anything else? Will there ever be anything else? A bright green light begins to glow around you as you hear a voice call out to you. Chaff, my son.
Hello, Internet, and thank you again for joining us for yet another episode of the Silent Bard Tavern. We hope you enjoyed this dirty beatdown, and as always, we ask, if you are enjoying the show, please like us, subscribe, share with friends, let people know. We also have some exciting announcements, as we are beginning to kind of expand where you can find us and where you can get in contact with us. Let us know how you feel, what you think, your opinion. We are now on Blue Sky, where you can find the link, the tag, I don't know what you call it, that thing where you find us down in the show notes. Follow us, comment on our post, let us know again what you think of the show. We'd love to hear from you. And maybe in the future we will expand to other places. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, hope you have a good one, and hope to see you here again on the Silent Bard Tavern.